Hello, very good afternoon to everyone. Today is February 22nd, 2026, Sunday. Now you are watching live from Kuala Lumpur. The time now is 2:30 in the afternoon. Now today's topic, I'm going to share with you some of the how to apply the Malaysia's My Second Homes program MM2H in 2026. Now, while the policy remained unchanged since it restarts in the third quarter of 2024, the policy remained unchanged, but the applications procedures has slowly the government have made some changes to the applications procedures, especially when filling in your personal informations, right? Now, if you are watching the live stream now, let me know where you are watching from. And on the 7th of March, I will be in JB having a meeting with all the viewers, especially those who are living in Singapore or in Johor in the southern regions. So we can have a meeting over there. We have a very special package offer on the 7th of March. Okay, I'll see you there. And you can scan the QR code right on the screen. Scan the QR code to book to secure your place. Okay, now let us come back to today's topic, how to apply MM2H in 2026. All right, now we know that during the third quarter, during the launch of MM2H in third quarter of 2024 and the first 3 quarters of 2025, right? Well, most of the information we need from you is the information of the principal applicants, okay? Now, for the spouse, for the children, and all the dependents, all right? Now, that is not too important for the applications. But now, the procedure has changed, right? Both principal applicants and his or her spouse. Now, you need to be very careful when you fill up your information by your agent, because now we know that you can only apply MM2H through a licensed agent. All right. Now this live broadcast is brought to you by Asia Home Services, MM2H Sdn Berhad, and there's a website you can check down there, right, at the descriptions. Now, let's come back to the personal information of the principal applicants and spouse. All right. We now need to know your working experience, which should be clearly stated in the resume, in the CV for both a principal and a spouse. Now, it is very, very important you write in your education's background. Right now, when possible, try to start from your primary or the elementary school up to your college or university. Now, do it step by step. Now, it is very important not to skip anything in between. Now, this is particularly important when coming to the working experience. Okay. Now, again, your first job, second job, and the job you are now working with until today, now that is try to complete everything in full. Now, it is very important now. And the third one is that your annual income in each company, right? Now, both you and your spouse. Now, this is actually a good thing, because now some of the applicants, the principal applicants, it could be the husband or it could be your wife, right? Their annual income may not be enough, but as a family income, all right, both husband and wife, now when the combined income may be enough. Now, this is very important. So, principal and the spouse, write everything in full. Now, basically, there are 3 types of applicants. I mean, principal applicants and their spouse. Right now, the first one is for those who are still working. Now, working, it could mean you are an employee, you are working for a certain company, you are working with the top 500, or you are running your business. Okay, you are the owner, you are the sole shareholder, or you are whatever, you are the minority shareholder. Okay, you could be the business owner. Now, the other type of the people who may not have formal, they may not work with a formal company. They are freelance. All right. Now, this is especially true when if you are the private investor, right? You do not work for any company. You are just investing in a stocks market, in unit trust, or in whatever financial products. You earn your income through your private activities. Now, in this scenario, again, you must show your annual income. You may not, I'm sure you will not have a very stable monthly income, but you may have an annual income, which is more than enough to live comfortably in Malaysia. Now, this is another class of people. Now, if you are working in this freelance industry, your annual income, you must prove your annual income. Now, this is very important because freelance is very sensitive. You may not be able to show for the immigrations, all right? They will want to see you have a stable annual income. So you need to show your financial capabilities by showing them your FD in your own country or in wherever countries. You must show them you have enough fund to support your living in Malaysia. Now, this is both for principal applicants and spouse, so that the immigration officer can see the overall pictures of your family. Now, we have helped numerous family to go through this process, especially those who are not having a formal working experience. They are just a freelance. It could be a very successful YouTuber. It could be a private investor. It could be anyone, any kind of freelance job. Now, and then when you write your CV, right? Now, try to let the immigration officer know the business nature of your company, right? And the venue, the location of your company, and the location of where you are actually working. Okay, you may be employed by an American company, but you are not working in the US. Okay, you may work in Singapore, in Thailand, in other countries. Now, that is very important to let them have the whole pictures of your working nature, right? And then to write your proof of employment, all right? Now, this is very important to write your proof of employment. Try to use a formal letterhead from the company. Don't just simply get an A4 paper and print some content and ask someone to sign. All right, now that is not professional enough. You do not present yourself to the immigration officer. You are a professional, okay? Use company letterhead, do everything in a professional way. Now, this is very important. Now, again, if you have any questions, write your questions to me now, or if you are watching a replay, leave your comment down below. When I have time, I will reply to your questions, right? Now, on the 7th of March, I will having a briefings on MM2H and also one of the project in JB. So this is the, okay, here, oh no, here, right? You'll see the QR code here. Scan the QR code to secure your place on the 7th of March. Okay, we will have a great offer on that day. Okay, 7th of March, remember that. And okay, what else? Now, for the retiree, now another class of people is a retiree, all right? Now, for you, you need to show that you have enough fund. Again, now the so-called fund, it could be from your FD in your country, it could be your stocks, okay? You may have invested a lot of money in the stock market or in a retirement fund or in any way, okay? You must show this, you must have enough. Now, there is no fixed number of what is enough, right? There's no enough. There's no fixed definition of that. But that will depend on how many dependents you are bringing in, right? Now, for people who have a monthly income of 5,000 US dollar, but if you are just apply as a single applicant, now 5,000 US dollar will make you live very, very comfortably in Malaysia, right? It could be 5,000, it may be enough for both husband and wife, but let's say you are bringing in 6 to 8 or even 10 family members to Malaysia, but your income is only 5,000 US dollar. Now that may not be enough. That is why I always say there's no fixed definition of what is enough. Now that will depend on how many applicants you are bringing in, right? Now that is very important. So talk to me, talk to us, talk to any licensed agency on your background, on your situation, how many of you are going to bring in, and all this background will decide what is the income requirement. Now, when we talk about the income, do not fix your mind to salary income. Now, income, it could be any kind of income. It could be, of course, the first one is your salary, okay? And then when you jump out of the box, you will have an income from your rental income. It could be from your dividends, all right? From your stock market, and from anything that you can think of, okay? Which will consider as your income. And also, I will advise, most of the time I will advise you to write down your annual income instead of monthly income, because some of the companies, especially in the Far East, right, the monthly income may be low, but your yearly income would high enough, because some company like in Taiwan, there's a cargo company where annual income could be I don't know, 24 months. It could be double of your annual monthly income. If you're taking your monthly income multiplied by 12, it does not mean that is your annual income, all right? Their annual income is a lot more than that. So annual income, try to use annual income. Okay, remember, if you have any questions, leave your question to me now, all right? Write your question now, and so that I can answer to your questions. And if you are watching a replay, write your comment down below, so I will answer you later on. Now, and then your applications letter. Now, to apply MM2H, you need to write an applications letter. Now, in that letter, try to write why you want to apply MM2H, all right? The reasons why you want to apply that, and why the immigration officer should approve your applications. Now, this is this thing of you are actually applying a job in a company, all right? Try to present yourself in a professional way so that you could be employed, okay? You could be employed. Now, so the applications letter, you need to sign the application letter. Now, surprisingly, some of the viewers in my other channel, okay, they do not even know there's a applications letter. That surprised me. Now, please, your agents need to guide you through the whole process, all right? You need to write an applications letter to present your case to the immigrations letter, all right? Now, and then when I go through some Facebook groups or even a YouTube channel in others language, okay, other than English. Now there are some people say if it is okay to be a shareholder in Malaysia, right? You can have invested into a company. It could be a 10%, 20%, 30%, all right? Now that is strictly not allowed. Please remember this. Now, of course, unless you are applying the platinum's category, which is the highest category, now that is okay. But if you are applying the special economic zone, the silver or the gold, try not to hold any shareholder in any company, right? If the MOTAC, if they do not check, now that is okay. When they check, you get yourself into problems, right? And if you cannot be a shareholder, definitely you are not allowed to be a director in a company in Malaysia, all right? In Malaysia. If you are the company shareholder or director in others country, now that is absolutely all right. Now, in the next chapter, when we come back, we'll take a look at the application fees. Now, this is very sensitive. There are a lot of people who are, when they first approach MM2H licensed agent, they would like to know everything. They would like, actually, they just want to compare. You may just want to compare the price between the agency. And some applicants may want to know how much the license agency earn. All right. When we come back, I will show you the application fees. Now, and remember, subscribe, like, and leave your comments down below. And on the 7th of March, I will have a briefing in Sky Park Kepler in JB. Right now, for those viewers who are from Singapore or who live in Singapore or JB, you may join me. Just scan the QR code to secure your seats. Right? Okay, now let's come back to the second topic for today, the application fees. Now, the government have set all principal applicants, okay, the price for principal applicants for all the 4 categories from special economic zones, silver, gold, and the platinum, okay? Now, special economic zone and silver, the government has set the agency's price of 40,000 ringgit, okay, 40,000 ringgit for principal applicants alone, okay? It means that for the first persons in the family, the principal applicant, 40,000. Now, this does not include the 1,000 participation fees that you will have to pay to the government. All right, so in total it will be 41,000. Now, the questions now is, I know there are a lot of company out there, because of competition, they may include principal and one of the spouse, okay, which means 41,000 for 2 person. Now, this is by right, it is not allowed, it is prohibited by the government. But agency, if they are willing to offer you a few thousands to cover, even to cover your spouse, now that will be on their own risk, right? You will have to keep a secret for them. If the government know, or if someone's complained to the government, now that agency will have a big problem. There will be fine, there will be anything could happen to that licensed agency. So they will have to do it in a secret way. Now, what if you are applying as a family. Let's say as a family of 3 or a family of 4. Now, the principal, I have just said, it is 41,000 for special economic zone or silver, but then all your dependents, they will have to pay separately. Okay, that 41,000 does not include your dependents. Now, for your dependents, when we break down all the costs, okay, you will see the processing fees, okay, the government processing fees of 2,500 per dependent, okay, 2,500 per dependent. And then you will have the MM2H pass. Now, pass and visa it have a very similar meaning, okay? Now, in this case, I will use MM2H pass. Now, this pass will cost you 500 ringgit per person per year. So, if your passport, you still have, let's say, more than 5 years before it expired, so it will mean 500 multiplied by 5 and multiplied by number of dependents, right? And then there's a third thing that is called multiple entry visa, or in short, normally we call it a MEV, multiple entry visa. Now that will cost in a range of 0 to 30 ringgit per person per year. It is not very expensive. It's cheap enough. Some of the country, especially from those Western countries, yeah, if you are holding their passport, it may be even free for you. Now, certain passport you may have to pay 20 ringgit per year, some even 30 ringgit. All right. Now, and then the third thing is that the insurance, okay, your healthcare plan. Now that will depend on your age. All right. Now, normally it will start from less than 700 up to 2,500. Now, this is especially true if you are taking the Great Eastern's insurer. Okay. Now, if you are 60 years old or above, your insurance package is not mandatory. Okay. You have an options to buy the medical insurance or not to buy the medical insurance. That is up to you. So the coverage will be, the mandatory coverage will be up to 59 years old. So it will depend on how old are you. Okay, it could be from 700 to 2,500. And then the medical check, all right? Now, during visa endorsement process, you need to go through the medical check. Now, at this moment, medical check, the cost for medical check normally in between 50 ringgit to 150 ringgit. Of course, you may find even 200 to 300, but that is very rare. Right? Most of the clinics or hospital, they'll charge you in between 50 to 150. That. And then there's another thing that is very, very important is that before you sign an agreement with any licensed agency, right? Not just look at the application fees. You must also look at the after-sales service. Okay, now, what I mean by after-sales service is that now in the future, you may need to withdraw your FD. Okay, you may need to use your licensed agent's services. You need to engage with them. Okay, now all these are chargeable. You may need to use their service after 5 years for renewal or extension or transfer of endorsement, or everything that their service is chargeable. So you need to look at the whole pictures, not only the first part, the application fees. So you need to know everything before you make the final decisions, right? And very important also, you need to look at their background, the licensed agency's background, not only the numbers that they have handled, but also if they have any rejected case. Okay, I have seen a lot of applicants that do not ask similar questions. Okay, they just compare price. Whoever going lower, they will pick them as their service provider. Now that is up to you. The timeline is 2:55 right now. So if you have any questions, write to me now so that I can answer your questions. And if you are watching a replay, leave your comments down below, and I will answer to that. And again, on March 7th, I'll be in JB having a briefing, having a talk on MM2H, and also one of the project called Sky Park Kepler. So if you are watching from Singapore or you are living in JB, Singapore and JB, meet me there, scan the QR code here, okay, here, no, here, okay, send the QR code and secure your place. I'll see you on March 7th. All right, and okay, it is today's topic: how to apply MM2H. What strategy you need to take before you finally make your decisions. I'll see you next week or anytime. Subscribe my channel, click likes, and leave your comments. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.